So, the NRA wants to militarize a certain section of the citizens in America. And they want to pass off to the whole rest of America that the reason why they want to continue to sell military weapons to the public, to the citizens of America, is for protection, which is the dumbest ass concept I have ever heard. You have never. If guns protected people, wouldn't you hear every year that 15,000 people was protected in the past year because they had a gun? Wouldn't there be statistics that says, okay, 200 policemen was protected this year because they had a gun on them? Wouldn't there be statistics that say 4,000 people in America statistically was protected and saved from harm because they had a gun? Wouldn't you have statistics of that? Well, have you ever seen statistics of that? Ever? Okay, let me give you some statistics. 2012, 33,000 people died from gun deaths. 2013, 33,000. Same number, but a little higher, 636,000. 2014, 33,594. 2015, 36,232. And 2016, 38,658 people. In the Civil War alone, 618,222 men was killed in the Civil War. Guess what? Every one of them had guns. How come if everybody have guns and if everybody's using guns, everybody dies anyway? Who does the gun protect if both sides of the people are dying and everybody have guns? Okay, since 1930 to 19 now, 21,183 policemen has been killed on duty. All of them had guns. 21,183, all of them had guns. Vietnam War, 58,000 people was killed in the Vietnam War. They all had guns. So where's the statistics that actually says, I can give you the statistics like I just did that tells you that guns kill people. I can give you that all day long. How come they don't have statistics that says that guns saves lives? Where's the statistics of that? What is the purpose of having a human culture and inventing weapons for human beings to kill each other? Like, what is the concept of that? Protecting what? Why exactly would human beings need to kill other human beings? Let's do this. Because we're looking at mental illness. So they want to change the subject over to, let's make up some laws to check out the mental illness, to monitor the mental illness, to make sure that these military guns that we sell to the public don't fall in the hands of the mentally ill. Okay, I work with mentally ill people. I work with dual diagnosis people. I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. I've been doing it in 3 states, but I deal with dual diagnosis. Okay, so that means the mental illnesses I work with is like depression, bipolar, anxiety, schizophrenia, schizoaffective, ADHD, PTSD, things of that nature, along with drug and alcohol addiction. Do you know after 24 years of counseling people with these mental illnesses, I have never met anybody who murdered anybody, and I actually counseled these mental illnesses in 3 different states: Maryland, New York, and in Chicago. Do you know I live in Chicago right now? I'm 62 years old and don't own a gun and haven't owned a gun. I think I might have owned a gun maybe once in my lifetime. And that was the only time in my life I ever actually thought about being killed or killing somebody. It's true. It's when I actually had a gun is when those thoughts was in my mind. Now check this out. So if we're talking about mental illness, how come we're not talking about racism? Racism is a mental illness. Hating somebody just because of the pigmentation of their skin, I think that's pretty sick. I definitely think that's a mental illness. Hate is another mental illness. Hating people for what? What can you get out of hate? That's a mental illness. Narcissism, another mental illness. Don't care about nobody else's feelings but your own. Don't think about nobody else. Can't consider nobody else's ideas or anything but your own. That's mental illness. Sociopath. That's another mental illness. Psychopath. That's another mental illness. Greed. Ooh. You see, here's the thing. When they start monitoring mental illnesses, why don't they conduct these monitoring or monitor the mental illnesses that actually creates these 58 deaths of those people in Nevada, these 17 deaths of those children. These people, those people who killed these people was sociopaths. They're psychopaths. These people are racist. These people hate. These people are narcissistic. These people don't have no feelings for anybody else. When you start talking about focusing on mental illness, don't focus on schizophrenia, bipolar, depression. I work with those people. Focus on the racism. Focus on these hate mongers. Focus on these people that actually want to hurt people, that want to kill people. Their mental illnesses is not the same mental illnesses that you are diverting the public into actually thinking you should be focusing on. No. Focus on these psychopaths. Why don't you do monitoring when you hiring certain type of police officers? Like the ones that just hate blacks or the ones that just hate people of color. Those are mental illnesses. Those are mood disorders. So you keep talking about mental illness, you keep talking about guns. What the hell kind of society do we have where you have people standing up for, what is it, AR-15 assault rifles? Why would our society stand up for something like that when the same society knows that over 400 and something children has been murdered here in America last year? Why are we standing up for guns? What kind of sadistic ass effed up society we have that would actually not pass a law to stop putting military weapons in the hands of people, especially when you know you have a society that's full of racism, hate, narcissism, sociopath, psychopath, when you know you have that in your society. And then you're going to turn around and say, well, it's depression? I got depression. I ain't never shot anybody or thought about it or think about it or going to. Unbelievable just how sick this ass society is. And people, please, don't let them get away with keep talking about mental illness. Make them talk about these social paths. Make them talk about the 847 hate groups that's in America. Make them talk about the domestic terrorism that's in America. Make them talk about that. Make them focus on that. I don't care if that's your brother, your sister, your mother. Make them focus on the people that's really killing your children. And stop letting them hide behind that nonsense. Damn.